Public Image.
Of course.
Which Andy was going to start the show with, but we decided to hold back on that. But what a great way to come back from the news. Hey, David Tennant's here. We'd like to say, Mr. Tennant.
Finally here.
How lovely to have you. Sorry about that. The car was cancelled by the computer, apparently.
Yeah, it's always the computer's fault.
That's a whole episode there. How are you? You look very, very well.
I'm extremely well, thanks very much, yeah.
Look how youthful and full of life does our David look.
Yeah.
What are you doing at the moment? We're going to talk about the new thing that's on this weekend, but I guess you're filming at the moment? Are you back in the...
I'm in the final furlongs of the next series of Doctor Who.
Wow. So the whole next series, wow, that's quite a lot.
We're just about done, yeah. 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks today it will be finished.
That's pretty good work then.
Yeah.
Have they got it down to a kind of like a speedier schedule now, or does it take as long as it ever did?
No, it takes as long as it ever did.
Right.
Because it gets bigger every year. The scripts get kind of more ambitious and there's more.
And of course the good Doctor has a new assistant now, doesn't she?
He does, the lovely
Lord, whatever his name is, who was in it previously, and she was in Torchwood as half a cyber lady.
Yeah, she was, and it's not the same character.
Of course not.
Although there is a brief explanation as to why she might look slightly like that lady. But
there you go.
Yeah, she's a whole new character, Martha Jones. She's a medical student, and they meet in a hospital.
Exciting. It is exciting. Is the Doctor still wearing the same suit, or have they upgraded his outfit?
I've now got two suits. I've got the brown pinstripe one,
which is lovely.
Much like one you're wearing yourself this morning.
Well, yours is probably slightly several sizes smaller, I suspect.
And well, actually, we did two scenes the other day, and I was thinking, what's happened to me? Have I lost weight? Have I got some terrible wasting disease? This suit was all over me, and they'd put me in the stuntman suit for the day, and nobody noticed.
So a proper man's size.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I've also got a new blue suit as well. So
wow, that's exciting news. I imagine this is an exclusive.
I think there have been some photographs.
Let's hope there'll be covers on fan magazines, Who in Blue and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, there'll be stuff like that.
Yeah.
Does it match the TARDIS? Does it complement the TARDIS?
It's almost a TARDIS blue, yeah.
That's exciting. It's exciting. You heard it here first. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in. Come in again anytime. David is in a new one-off drama, which is on BBC One tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. on Sunday night. I've seen part of it. I couldn't watch all of it because we had stuff going on at home. I started watching last night, but I would just have sat through the whole thing quite happily. It was really gripping. It was enthralling in the way that good drama is. And what a tremendous performance from you and from, is it Sarah Parish you're working?
It is indeed. She's playing my missus, yeah.
Wow, you two work together so well. You worked together. You were in an episode of the Christmas Doctor Who.
She was in The Runaway Bride at Christmas. She was
very different roles.
Empress of the Rachnos.
So in that film, in that program you were working against her, she was a giant spider lady.
Yeah.
Okay, now she's just a regular human being.
Yeah.
I imagine easier to act against when she's being just a normal folk.
Easier to get close to, yeah. Certainly.
What a great... Would you set up the premise of Recovery for us? Andy asked me what it was earlier. I thought it was probably better coming from you. What's the idea behind it?
Alan and Tricia have been together since they were teenagers. They've got 2 kids. They've got a fairly idyllic marriage, really. Alan's doing very well as a building site manager, and everything's going very well for them. And then he gets hit by a truck and suffers a very severe brain injury. And it's really the story of whether they can kind of piece their life back together. And more sort of importantly, is because brain injury often severely alters your personality and your ability to do stuff. And it's really the story of is he the same person, and is that the person that Tricia married, and should she be expected to stay with him in these terribly altered circumstances?
It's not an easy watch at times, because it's very, I mean, I was going to say realistic. I don't know if it is realistic, but it seems very real. It's very...
I think it is. Tony Marchant, the brilliant writer, is known for his immaculate research, and he met hundreds of people and read enormous amounts of testimonials and everything else, and it is based on what happens in these circumstances.
It is incredible, because a person that can change. Curiously, one of the reasons why I suppose I was so touched by it, but I don't think you need this requirement, is when I was a kid growing up in the East End of London, there was some neighbours of ours. There was a young woman who was a teacher who moved in with her husband, and she used to cycle everywhere, and she was hit on the back of her head by a truck. The door swung open, suffered a great degree of brain damage, recovered to an extent, but was never the same person. I mean, was a totally different person. She was still quite a sweet person, and they stayed together, but she needed a lot of help, husband. And it was like, I was struck by that as a child. Just in a moment, her life had changed forever, and their relationship as well.
And it's such a random moment as well. And I think that's why maybe it's particularly touching, because you do feel it's there, but for the grace of God, go any one of us, really. You can just walk out the door and get hit by a truck or fall down some stairs or anything, really.
Now, if we can move it back into an area which seems perhaps less serious, but what a gift for an actor to play a role in which you start as one person and then you have to be, I bet you were sitting there thinking, this is the one, come on, okay, clear some space on the mantelpiece, come BAFTA time, David's bringing home a mask. But it is the sort of part, I guess, you think, great, I can really get my teeth into this.
You do, but you just read the script. It was just such a brilliant bit of writing, you know.
Yeah.
So That's that's what it starts with, isn't it?
He is a tremendous writer. Has he done a lot recently? Because I know there was a period when he seemed to have new stuff on all the time, and I haven't been as aware of it in the last year or two.
Yeah, he has stuff on all the time, and I'm going to embarrass myself by not being able to reel them all off.
Okay, you don't have to. Don't worry, we wouldn't expect you to. I just wondered whether he
works a lot. He's got something else coming out about the war quite soon, I think, which sounds pretty fantastic.
And then the sort of writer you would work with again, like a
drop of a hat. Yeah,
you can tell it's
that thing with Trevor Eve about the
shoestring.
Shoestring, yeah.
It's great shoestring.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of shoestring.
That was the first time I remember seeing someone with a really big fish tank in their house as a kid, and I thought, that's good, a fish tank. And then one week someone shot it, and I thought, don't shoot the fish tank. It's the best thing about the series.
The baby thing.
Oh, I know the one you mean.
Yeah. I can't remember the name.
Yes, it was a big
Trevor
thing.
Eve doing...
I've been told in my ear, Holding On.
Holding On.
Holding On was a brilliant one. But no, more recently, the one with Trevor Eve. What was it? People through the glass are mouthing things out.
Family Man, I'm
Family Man.
He's having a baby, it was called.
Trevor Eve, isn't it, anyway?
Trevor Eve was having a baby.
That wasn't the one when Arnold Schwarzenegger got pregnant, was it?
That's it. Yeah, and Danny DeVito was his baby, that's right.
That was a good film.
Yeah.
That's an underrated film. You can tell it's Dave in a serious role, not just because of his fine acting, but also he's grown a beard for the part. And I always think that's a good indicator that someone's doing something a little bit heavier.
I was just delighted to be able to get the chance. The last time I tried to grow a beard, I was 20 years old.
But you look handsome. Can I be honest?
Now it joins up.
You're more handsome with a beard than you are without.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Because without, you sometimes look a bit feral. But with... No, you know what I'm saying? In a good way. You're handsome, but, especially wearing a hoodie today. But we almost didn't let you in. When we saw you on the camera, till you took the hood down, we thought that's one of those boys. But no, that's a good look.
But you see, like I said, when I was 20, I tried to grow one, just at a drama school, like you do.
Yes.
I was playing King Arthur in this play in Edinburgh. And I thought, I've got to grow a beard for that. And it was this terrible thing with kind of lumps at various positions on my chin. I looked like I had some kind of wasting disease.
Was it of one colour?
No, it wasn't actually.
Yeah, you see.
But now, looking at that picture there, it all joins up. It's all one colour.
You look a little bit like Alex James out of Blur.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
He's a very good looking man.
Yeah.
I grew a beard. I don't know if you heard about it.
Not Wiglaf again.
Well, yeah, in my London University drama production of Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Wiglaf. Sure. Got a good review in the Scotsman.
You really?
Yeah. Said the growing maturity of Wiglaf is well portrayed. So
nice. Nice.
You would have probably seen that. Anyway, I had to grow a beard for the part of that. It came out ginger.
Oh.
I had a ginger beard.
Was that a shock?
Oh, was it ever?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it wasn't good. It made me look a bit like a young Kirk Douglas, but
sure.
It was not what I'd planned on.
No, have you never done it since?
You don't know what you don't know what looks underneath, do you?
You don't know how it's going to come out. It's a risk. It's a gamble.
Was it comfy?
Do you know it was? And I was expecting... Because you know that thing, if you don't shave for about 4 days, you want to claw the underside of your chin off
really
with the itch of it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, because I knew I was going all the way...
Yeah.
It was as smooth as silk.
Yes, and it's terrible because at that period, when you do leave it 3 or 4 days, the shaving off can be quite painful.
Yeah.
So when you actually got to remove it when it was full length, was that difficult as well?
Well, I got a little bit of scissors first, took the heavy off,
right down,
trimmed it right out.
You did it, or you got a makeup lady, or
I did it myself.
A young Turkish barber? Have you ever had a proper shave in a shop?
I never have.
I have.
I've never had. What's it like?
In Turkey, I had one.
Was it good? You had a shave in Turkey. That's
Yeah.
something. It's a long way to go.
And
They do it here as well.
They do your ears.
Do they?
What they do is they light a sort of almost like a sort of cotton bud, and they flick your ears to singe your ear hair.
No, they just did that 'cause they didn't like you.
They do.
Did they hit you with a towel as you were leaving as well?
No, then they put the hot towel right. It's great.
When he woke up, his pants were backwards. Now you look like you look to me like you would have fine taste in the indie music field. Are you familiar with the new bands?
I know some of the latest pop sensations. Yes.
Who do you enjoy listening to?
Right now, I'm liking the Views album at the moment.
The View's great. We played The View a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, I love that song particularly.
They came in. You would understand. We had them, and we couldn't really understand them. They were
Dundee.
Yeah, the very very thick Dundee accent, and they'd been drinking all night. So there were two strikes against them there for us, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're terrific, aren't they?
They are fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, well, we played them. What are we going to play now?
This is a new single by a man called Patrick Wolf.
Okay, let's give this a chance. Well, I like it.
Patrick Wolf.
I like the strings involved on there. What did you think, David?
I liked it a lot.
Okay, David Tennant is with us. He's starring with Sarah Parish, the lovely Sarah Parish, who's a gorgeous, talented young actress, of course.
Yeah, she is.
In the
lovely
new...
for seeing young as well.
Oh, blimey. Well, she is quite young, isn't she?
She is. She's a strip of a thing.
45. In Recovery, which is a one-off drama on BBC One tomorrow night, Sunday at 9 p.m. And I've seen part of it, and I can thoroughly and wholeheartedly endorse it. It's tremendous. You've got to watch it tomorrow.
No, we'll watch it.
It's an incredible story, and of course, it's something which does happen. It happens not that often, but it happens on a fairly regular basis.
I think it happens more regularly than you know as well, because again, it's one of those things that when people suffer something like this, they tend to get hidden away. And
this is a chap who suffers a head trauma, some sort of accident. He's knocked over, I believe, in the drama.
Yeah, and it kind of rewrites his personality, really.
And it's remarkable, because you think how fragile the brain is and how fragile our grasp of our personalities, and yet that's that's us as far as we're concerned.
Well, that's it. And it just, you move your brain a couple of degrees north and you're a completely different person.
Do you think it happens often when people do that and they become much better people? I mean, obviously we're making a subjective judgment on them, but, do you think there might be
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, obviously I met a lot of people researching it, and that was one question I asked a lot of them, and you got a variety of responses.
Are they aware of the difference in who they were and who they are?
It depends what stage of recovery you're at, I think. I think some said that they were aware that they were a better person now, but I still think they'd probably rather it hadn't happened.
Yeah, of course. Do you think we could introduce this to young offenders?
What, battering them over the back of the head?
Just a little whack, right? See if it's sort of... You never know. Hey, it's worth a try anyway, isn't it? Worth a try. Thank you. Right, thank you. We're all in agreement here. Yeah, bring back national service and hit kids on the head if they misbehave, but only policemen do it. Only people trained. Who know where to hit, who understand phrenology.
I'd like to distance myself from this policy.
Too late now. You suggested it, and we're running with it, Tennant. Doctor Who wants children beaten. That's hopefully the headline in the News of the World tomorrow. But do watch Recovery at 9 p.m. on BBC One. Is it a different process for you? Is it a different experience when you're approaching something which is obviously quite a sobering and sophisticated piece of work as this, and something which, although it is sophisticated in its own way, is intended for a different audience like Doctor Who?
Well, it's different because it's a different type of script, I suppose. It's a different setup, but the basic kind of job is the same. You're just trying to make the situation as believable as possible, which might sound ridiculous when you're talking about, the year 100 trillion or whatever else, but actually you've got to be in some ways even more truthful.
Yeah, that's when it works best. When it seems for real. But is it more draining in any way? I mean, because obviously I would have thought you're tapping into emotions more often in a different way when playing something like this.
This was particularly full on because we did it very quickly as well. It was filmed in 21 days, which for 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's a film essentially you've made in 21 days.
Yeah, it was a ferocious schedule, and because of the nature of it, there wasn't a single one of those 21 days when you weren't either flying into a rage or breaking down or doing something quite full on.
I like the way it looked as well. Who directed it? Because it looks
Andy Emeny.
Right, he did a very good job, I thought.
He did a fantastic job, and I think he used the fact that we were doing it quite quickly, but he made that a virtue rather than a curse, I think.
Sometimes these days, something which is made for TV gets a theatrical release. I could see this would have done quite well, I think, at the cinema if it had come out. That's the sort of thing, like The Queen, of course, was initially started life as a TV project. Obviously, this doesn't have The Queen as a hook.
No.
But it's that, which obviously was a big selling point, I imagine, when they decided let's go with a theatrical release.
Yeah.
But certainly, is that where your ambitions lie? Would you like to move more into doing things which are considered, just by their very nature and how we experience them, a bigger thing because it's a movie as opposed to a TV thing, which is silly, but that's the way it feels?
Not specifically, really. I mean, I'm just keen to do a variety of different good things. I mean, I've never had a grand 5-year plan or anything. I just kind of bumble along and take the next thing that appeals.
Here's one of the things that impresses me about David Tennant is, even though he's very high profile, we know very little about him. You're very good at guarding yourself, aren't you, David?
Do you think?
Yeah.
I can possibly comment.
Exactly. See, I rest my case. He wouldn't even be drawn on that.
No.
I tell you why, because I saw the, was it called Who Do You Think You Are? The thing you did,
yeah.
And in that, even though you were charming and affable company and it was a very pleasant experience, at the end I thought, I know no more about you. Really, often you come to the end and you feel like, like, for example, the episode that had David Baddiel in. I think David Baddiel, who I love, and he's a lovely man, he's a very funny and friendly man, but he seems to irritate some people, and a lot of people were won over and could see the appeal of David Baddiel more by the end. You were very likeable at the beginning, very likeable at the end, but I don't feel that that you ever let anyone in.
The truth is, there's nothing to know, Jonathan.
You see, that's what they say. No, you see, he's very good at it. You see?
Yeah, he is.
He's got his hand a fine art, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Let's see if he buckles to a bit of pressure. Put a record on. Get a towel out, one of those wet ones. The ones that don't leave marks.
Okay.
All right? Red Nose Day,
Coming
it's
up,
coming. It's March the 16th, I believe it is this year. It's Red Nose Day, the big one. You're doing something, I believe, aren't you, David?
I've done a couple of little bits, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, everyone does their bit. Andy, you done anything for this year?
No, I've not been asked.
Yeah, well,
I
you
will
say
do
no.
if they ask me.
Yeah, not been asked. Well, that's because they know what you'll say.
What? No.
I'm doing stuff I don't know what
I
I'm
could do
doing.
something from Spain.
I have already been vomited all over for the occasion.
Have you?
As part of a Little Britain special. And the person doing the vomiting is on the line right now.
What a link that was.
From one of the colonies, Australia. He's on the line now.
Hey.
David Williams, are you there, sir?
Oh, hello.
Hello, David. How are you? Good morning.
Oh, it's my favourite Doctor Who as well.
Hello, David. How are you?
No, it's
Very
not.
well.
It's not Tom Baker. It's David Tennant is here with
Oh,
us.
right. Sorry, I thought it was Colin Baker.
Colin Baker, no one's favourite.
You could have been cast as Doctor Who in the end of the 80s.
Me?
Yeah, it would have been... It would have
In
been
the end of the 80s. What's wrong with me doing it now? I thought I was being groomed to take over from David. I thought that's why he was coming in. You'd make a good Doctor Who, if a bit camp.
They've all been camp.
I beg your pardon.
You've been the camp into them all.
How are you? How is your tour going on Australia, Mr. Williams?
Oh, they love us here. they think we're very funny. No, it's very well. There's great audiences and people very pleased to see us.
Lovely. That's all.
It's a beautiful country as well, and I get to sort of swim in the sea every day and do a show at night.
That must be terrifying to the locals. We've seen what you look like in trunks.
No, it's getting quite scary, but I might one day have to wear a T-shirt when I swim like you, Jonathan.
Are you?
The man breasts are getting bigger and bigger. That's like what fat boys did at school.
I keep on in bed sometimes as well. Are you tempted to try and swim back from Australia? Because that would really be, because the channel really wasn't that much, was it? Let's be honest with you. But I think trying to do it back from Australia, that would be genuinely impressive.
That would be something. Well, someone once tried to swim the Atlantic.
Did they?
Handedly.
No, did they?
They went there and they died in the attempt.
I would have thought that's probably a foregone conclusion, really.
Glad you can see the funny side of someone's death.
Yeah, well, that's what we do here. That's what we do. Hey, Little Britain Live, there's a comic relief special coming out. Oh, how lovely of you guys to do this especially for Little Britain. I was down on the evening and I saw it unfolding, but it was a tremendous and very special night, wasn't it, David?
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, we had fantastic people. Yourself.
Yes, thank you.
Wow. I mean, woof. As if you couldn't get any better, but we had Peter Kay as well, Kate Moss.
Dawn French, of course.
Dawn French.
Russell Brand stripped off for the occasion.
Russell Brand, yeah, fantastic people. So we were really, really lucky. And so basically it's our live show with lots of sort of amazing special guests in it.
And one very special guest, because all the people you mentioned there, obviously, especially me, we're well loved by the country. But there was one guest in particular, I think, who blew everyone away. I think, who one would not expect to have seen necessarily with Little Britain, and it showed him in a good light. Dennis Waterman.
Dennis Waterman really did do the show because he comes on in the sketch we do on him, and it was fantastic for us. I mean, we were really trying to create a moment. I mean, we can't compare ourselves, but when Des O'Connor comes on Morecambe and Wine,
yeah, it's not the same. But
that lovely moment. We can't compare ourselves because we're clearly.
It's like having when Andre Previn came on Morecambe and Wine. Yeah. But no, it's really genuinely.
He really does steal it, and he does a fantastic thing, and he sings his theme tune, and it was just joyous. And I think you can just see the joy on me and Matt's faces as he does his bit.
It's a lovely, and that's out now. It's a DVD for sale now for Comic Relief. It's in stores up and down the country. It's called Little Britain Live. It's got Comic Relief, and we have your partner, both on stage and in life. Matt Lucas is on the phone as well. Matt, are you there?
Hello, London calling. Hello from Newcastle near Sydney.
This is it's like a wartime broadcast, isn't it? We're gathering people all over. How are you, Matt? So you guys aren't in the same place right now?
Yeah, no, we are. We're sat next to each other.
You are.
My phone wasn't working, but
I see. I didn't realise. I thought you were in like another part of the country or something, and you were having a little break from each other.
Two separate tours, like we've fallen out. It's like Slade or something. Excursions, buses.
Matt Lucas is Little Britain, and David Williams.
Well, we're laughing about it now. We're laughing about it now. In 10 years' time, we'll probably be having this conversation genuinely, won't we?
Yeah, of course. Hello, David Tennant also.
Matt, how you doing?
Matt, I imagine you're quite a big Doctor Who fan, would I be right?
Yes, I do enjoy the Doctor Who, and I worked with David in Casanova.
Weekends?
Oh, of course you did, yeah, that was a fabulous production.
Yes.
And that was another Russell T Davies script, wasn't it?
It was indeed, yeah.
You guys are missing something over there in Australia, I'm afraid, because tomorrow night here on BBC One, or on BBC One Radio 2 at the moment, David is in a fabulous new drama, which I've seen part of, called Recovery, and it really is, it's a tremendous piece of work. I will save it for both of you, okay?
Well, I can watch it, Jonathan, because I've got the sling box.
You've got the sling box, yeah, but you're watching on a little computer and it's slightly fuzzy. It's not the same, Matt, is it?
I don't mind. It's quite romantic watching it like that.
It'd be lovely. It'd be well. It's a tremendous piece of work. It's not a romantic kind of show, though, is it?
It's not really. No. It's about brain injury, and you should hear the politically correct things Jonathan's been saying about brain injury.
Yeah, we've been talking about it thoroughly, and we've come up. And David Tennant suggested that we hit young offenders on the head to try and knock some sense into them. What do you think of that?
David does that every night on stage. In the SK room.
Oh yeah, that can be quite upsetting when he does that, can't it?
For who? People love it. They love being sexually assaulted in front of 2,000 people.
Oh, okay, let's go back to your DVD, of course, because Jeremy Edwards was the young man you chose from the audition.
I got Jeremy Edwards and David Baddiel, but guess which one I fancied?
Okay, well, you went for the obvious choice. You went for Jeremy, okay?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure David has his fans.
Yeah, but then you...
Unfortunately...
No, hold on. Unfortunately. Like it was an accident.
Don't...
Yeah, we know what you were thinking. Well, tell us what happened.
Well, there's a bit in the sort of sketch. I play this children's entertainer. I get two guys out of the audience, and at one point I try and pull the trousers down of one of the people. Now, Jeremy didn't have a belt on.
Yeah.
The trousers came down very easily, as did the pants at the same time.
They were a weird, like leopard skin thong, weren't they?
Yeah, it was a bit upsetting.
A very good view of what can we say? What word can we use?
Penis.
Penis.
You very nearly, from the look of things from where I was, you very nearly got a mouthful accidentally. And here's the thing.
Can happen in the workplace. You've got to be very careful.
He was trying to pull them back up, and you were holding them down. Never mind claiming it was an accident. You could see the poor man in front of a packed house, an audience. It was like, must have been 2,000 or 3,000 people there. Trying to retain some dignity, you were holding him down and mocking him and laughing at him.
I wasn't laughing. It was a wonderful penis. It was beautiful. And very, not as big as yours, which you managed to show me and Patsy Kensit on the night.
Yeah, well, there's a perk to being in
We were rehearsing our little bit, and you decided to walk through the stage in your dressing gown and just flash your penis. And poor Patsy Kensit brought a tear to her eye.
Yeah.
Such a beast.
A tear of longing, and she has not left me alone since. Matter of fact, Jane, if you're home now, when you walk out the door, mind it, there's a little tent out there and it's got Patsy in it, all right? She's like a peace protester. Hey, do we see...
I've seen it so many times now. It doesn't hold any surprises, but poor Patsy.
Yeah. Hey, do you leave the Jeremy stuff in the show? Do we see that on the DVD? Did he give permission for that?
His mortified facial expression. We've been a bit sympathetic in the edit, and we did promise him on. I mean, the thing is that David's character, mucks about and pulls down someone's trousers and pants, but he wasn't genuinely trying to expose poor Jeremy Edwards' penis.
Hold on,
we did make a pledge to him on the night that the penis would be cut, if you'll pardon.
Yes. Shall we stop calling it poor? The poor penis, because it sounds like we're commenting on his actual physical blessing, and now we're making it worse for him. Let's just call it the penis, all right?
The penis.
Okay.
Well, so his mortified expression is left in, but you don't see Nad.
Not even as a DVD extra?
No, it would be a good one, though.
If you stop me in the street, I promise anyone who stops me in the street, I will describe it to them, and if they want, even draw a picture.
But only if you bought the Comic Relief Does Little Britain Live.
DVD and show it to me in the street, I will describe
Produce your
it
till
to you,
receipt.
draw a picture.
Yeah, so buy it and keep it with you at all times, okay? You never know when it's going to come in handy. Guys, how long are you touring for? When are you back here in the UK?
About another 5 years.
Right, yeah.
We're back kind of the middle of March.
Yep.
And we're back actually for Comic Relief Night, so we'll see you that night.
How lovely! And
will the lovely David be around as well?
I haven't been invited. I hope so.
We'll invite you now then.
Definitely be invited.
We'll get you. Come on this. Will you come on Comic Relief if you're in town?
Of course I will, yeah.
He's going to come on Comic Relief. How about that? That's fantastic. Come in my hour because I haven't got anyone decent. Fellas, one thing, Matt, would I be right in thinking by the time this tour finishes that this will be like a record breaker? You will have. It must be like I would have thought either the biggest comedy tour.
So, yeah, by the time the tour's finished, we'll have played to 800,000 people.
Wow. It's incredible.
Done nearly 250 gigs. So. Yes, well, Steptoe and Son, they did like a tour of Australia towards the end, and they weren't really speaking to each other.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. Well, are you not tempted to just string it out for another 6 months and get it up to get it up to a million?
But bizarrely, we've got a series on HBO that we've got to go and write for the Americans.
That's exciting.
So
the next time you see us, Jonathan, we may not acknowledge you.
Yeah, you know what?
Pretend we don't know you because we'll be hanging out with like David Letterman.
You know what? You can ask my wife. I've been praying for that day. I'm saying, please, let's hope they get so big they don't want to come round anymore.
I love you and miss you very much.
Yeah, well, I return the compliment. You know that.
Jonathan,
yes,
can
ma'am?
I just say, genuinely, thank you for doing. I'm going to do the hard sell bit now, but thank you for being in the night. And it's got Peter Kay on the DVD.
Yes.
It's got Dawn Frayne.
Chris Moyles turned up. Peter Serafinovich was very funny.
Chris Moyles and Russell Brand.
The lovely Kate Thornton was there.
People.
Yeah.
Kate Moss.
Well, the Kate Moss moment. The Kate Moss moment was genuinely, really quite remarkable as well, and she was very good. I thought she showed real talent as a performer. It was difficult.
Well, I didn't know she spoke. I thought she was like. I was.
Yeah,
and even dressed like that.
Yeah.
As Vicky Pollard's twin sister, she still looked amazingly gorgeous.
Yeah, but that's coming from someone who would sleep with a Venetian blind. I mean, you're second only Russell Brand in your lack of any critical faculty when it comes to possible sexual partners.
Okay, because I find Kate Moss attractive. You're extrapolating that.
I know
that Kate Moss was attractive, and you decided that.
David, let's not go there. I know the kind of women you've invited back to your flat. Let's not even start on that list, all right?
I don't have a flat. I have a house now.
Comic Relief Does Little Britain is out now. It should have a stick on it saying "Hear Kate Speak," because Kate Moss is on stage with Matt as Vicky Pollard's. Is it your sister she's playing, or is it a cousin or something?
Yeah, she's playing Katie Pollard, Vicky's sister.
It's very good.
And you're not allowed to say where you can buy it, but if I say Woolworths and HMV, and
then people, yes. So you could imagine that it was at Woolworths and HMV if you wanted to help Comic Relief out. Guys, lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the huge tour. I hope the success continues to the very end, and I will look forward to seeing you back in the UK for Comic Relief on Friday, March the 16th.
Bye-bye, both of you.
Okay.
Lovely people.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Oh, thank God they're gone. That sounded quite jolly, was that?
It's a band called the Pigeon Detectives.
Well,
We played the last single. That's called Romantic
Terrible
Time.
name for a band. That's a
They're from
terrible name for a
Leeds.
band.
Well,
That's a name you're never going to want to have on a T-shirt, is it? You spend your whole life explaining it. Speaking of T-shirts, I got sent a great T-shirt the other day. There's a company, I think they're called Ichiku. I'll try and find out. They have designs, Japanese words on, that have been accidentally mistranslated. They found all these mistranslations. So there's one which said, the one I've got is meant to say rug muncher. Okay, it says, I enthusiastically eat small carpets. Is the actual literal translation. There you go. So I'll put one of these for the competition one week.
Okay.
Speaking of which, we're going to have our competition this week because it's the Oscars tomorrow night in Los Angeles.
We're doing the one that we did for the BAFTA called Don't Put Your Daughter on the Stage, Mrs. Worthington, where you answer some questions about the Oscars, then you get some keywords and you've got to make an acceptance speech, but you can shorten it by the number of answers you give correctly.
You're right to look confused, David Tennant.
And David Tennant is going to be the judge.
David is right. This is what I have to deal with every week. He comes in with these quizzes, and it's almost impossible to understand why he can't just...
I've heard a couple.
Why not just a question and an answer, and at the end, who did the best? No, it's always like... And then I'll give you 2 seconds extra time. If you get that wrong, we go to Grand Slam Wibble Wobble. But when we did this last time, the BAFTAs, when I turned up to host the BAFTAs, various people, they said, those people made great speeches on the show.
Well, we'll do it
and after hosting the BAFTAs, we thought, you know what? Why couldn't some of the people actually winning the awards have made such good speeches? Name no names, but Forrest Whitaker springs to mind.
Should we give the phone number?
Okay, 0500 288 291, that's the number, and David will help us judge that. David, we were talking about Doctor Who. Obviously, we've been talking about recovery. I wanted to mention something. The last 2 Doctor Who she did with Billy Piper, which were they weren't the Christmas specials, were they? Because that was after the event.
That was after the event,
It was the last 2 in the actual series. Brilliant, and so emotional and so wonderful, and brilliantly performed by both of you. I was crying at the end.
Oh, good,
I was
good.
genuinely crying. Here's the thing, I watched it with the kids. My wife was working. She couldn't watch that with us, and so we taped it for us, and we couldn't wait. We said, look, darling, hold on, we all have to see it. So we watched it, and we were all afterwards very emotional. Poor woman, she came to watch it, and near the end she got very annoyed because every time there was a scene we knew was coming emotional, we all turned around and stared at her. And she said, what are you doing? We said, we want to see you cry. She said, I'm not going to cry. So we inadvertently ruined the experience for her by all of us sitting in the room, and every time there was, especially the end bit, when you go there and she's waiting, there's just an image of you and you found a chink in time and you're whatever it is, and you're going, hello, I've come back. I said, well, staring at me. She said, will you stop staring at me? But, I guess that's the problem when you have a popular series like that. Everyone wants to enjoy it and everyone wants to see other people enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of weepy moments this year as well.
Oh, we love the weepy moments. They're great. Who are writing this series? Russell T Davies, hopefully, is writing quite a few.
Russell T Davies is still the head writer, and he's written, I think he's written 5 scripts.
Oh, great. That's great news.
Yeah.
And that's in a series of how many?
13.
13. It's a long old run, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work you do there.
Stephen Moffat's back. Paul Cornell, who wrote one of the best ones in the first year. He wrote the one about Rose coming back and meeting her dad in the first year.
That was fabulous.
He's written a bit of a weepy 2-parter.
Good.
Jings.
There was one which had hardly had you in it at all, which I think was Russell T Davies one. Was that because you needed time off?
It's not time off. It's because to do 13 episodes in the time we've got, we have to be doing another episode at the same time. So that has happened again. and Stephen Moffat's written that one this year.
Right.
But he's done it very cleverly. I think we're in it perhaps slightly more than last year. So.
Have they ever considered, I don't know if you're involved in the idea-making process, maybe like a talk show guy in space, like a travelling, not a Time Lord, like a time chat show guy, travelling through space. Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking of new ideas for you here, who, he's like, saves the universe.
Yeah.
Has that come up at any meeting?
I think everyone agrees that wouldn't really work.
No, it would work. That would be a great... I think everyone knows that's a great idea.
It's not a great idea.
See, that's why you're not a writer. You can't spot a good idea when it comes scratching at your door like a big-eyed puppy. Okay, 0500 288 291. That's the number to call. We haven't yet selected the people who are going to be playing. It's not that kind of scenario here. We're not giving out the number. We've already selected the people who are going to take part. Okay, you can keep calling in. 0500 288 291.
What is the selection process? Is there some rigorous auditioning going on in the room there?
It's cash-based. Give us a call. Have your credit card numbers ready, and if you pledge enough, we'll let you. It's got nothing to do with money. Give us a call, and we'll hopefully be doing that after this. I like that kind of thing, but whenever I hear something like that, I always think, give him some red meat or something, make a man of him. What's that women singing there with a guitar like a...
What a voice he has.
For sitting in your bed, sitting crying.
Yeah, he wants to get out and he wants to get a car with petrol and eat some beef.
It's a new track. It's a track from the new Ray LaMontagne album.
It's
called,
a lovely.
Can I Stay?
What prizes do we have to give away to Andy? It looks like an incredible prize.
Really good prizes.
Wow.
MacGyver. Paramount Television MacGyver on
so
DVD. The complete fourth season.
It's quantity more than quality, then, is it?
Comic Relief does Little Britain. We just mentioned it. That's the actual DVD for Comic Relief. We've got that. These are crackers. The Big Steal, Double Indemnity, The Blue Dahlia, Out of the Past, The Glass Key, This Gun for Hire, Crossfire, Murder My Sweet, and The Killers. All film noirs from Universal.
The Killers is great. I think The Killers was a Peckinpah movie, wasn't it? Very early. It's either Peckinpah or Cuba. That's
all on DVD.
Directed by Cedermack. Oh, there you go.
The Dead Zone. Apparently it's utterly gripping. It's the third season of Dead Zone, the Stephen King TV series.
That's after the great Christopher Walken movie.
Series 2 of Ideal, starring Johnny Vegas, which I think is a BBC 3, originally.
Good fun.
Housewife 49, written and starred Victoria Wood, which I think was on the TV a couple of months ago, I think.
There you go. That is good. A little play with Vicky in.
Avatar. That's probably spelt wrong. Avatar.
Avatar's great. My little boy loves Avatar. It's great. Avatar's great. It's a cartoon series on Nickelodeon at the moment. It's fantastic. Really good. Little fellow with a bow staff.
Cave Party. Backyardigans. Some sort of cartoon
That's for
series.
very young children. That looks nice, doesn't it? It looks sweet. They look like Moomins.
Barnyard. The original Party Animals is the movie Barnyard. Which
that looks rubbish. I tell you why. It's a male cow. He's got udders. What are they? He's got big udders. He's a male cow.
You'd have thought that would have...
That's a very poor... even basic level research would have shown, that...
This is a CD called Van Morrison at the Movies. Hits as heard in the movies, including Brown Eyed Girl, Have I Told You Late, Moon Dance. It's just another way of putting out Van Morrison tracks.
But there's some great tracks,
Yeah.
And you don't want to wade through an actual album, do you?
It does sound like, though, it's Van sitting at the back of the cinema complaining about stuff, doesn't it?
Oh, you wouldn't want to sit near Van.
Music from the William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. This was the movie, and this is music from that film.
This was the film by the Australian director. Who's the guy who did... Baz Luhrmann, yeah.
I'm sorry,
What are you doing with that? That's about 15 years old, that.
It's weird.
For some reason it's come out again. Well, this is even more older than that. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Volumes 1 to 4, the 25th anniversary of the radio series with very young John Cleese on there.
There you go. That would be... I mean, if you had a very long journey, about 4 days, that would come in very handy.
And then we've got 2 CDs of the Magic Numbers live at Kentish Town Forum, signed by the band.
They're bootlegs, aren't they? You've gone out and recorded those, haven't you?
Apparently they are legitimate releases.
Okay, well, they look good. They're a great band.
Signed by the Magic Numbers.
What a fabulous bumper pile of gifts that we have to give away, or prizes, rather, to be more correct, if indeed we have people phoning in.
We have a Louise is already there.
Oh, she's already there. So this is Don't Put Your Daughter on the Stage, Mrs. Worthington. David Tennant's here to judge the quality of the speeches. Louise, would you like to say hello to David this morning?
Hello, David. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Andy.
Good morning, Louise.
Where are you, Louise? Whereabouts are you calling from?
I'm in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Okay. Now, that's in Scotland.
Yes.
Okay. And that's quite a posh part of Scotland. Not all of Edinburgh, but most of it. It always seems to me slightly more upmarket than Glasgow. Am I upsetting
It
people?
really depends where you go in Edinburgh. Wouldn't you agree, Louise?
Exactly. Depends where you go.
Morningside's very posh, isn't it?
Morningside's quite posh.
But normally...
I'm not posh.
Yeah, no, because I've heard the posh Morningside accent, and it's different to your accent, isn't it?
Well, I'm actually from Shetland, so...
Oh, blimey. Well, that's rough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is up there.
Cool, blimey. How did you wind up in Edinburgh?
Uni.
Oh, so you're in university at the moment, are you?
Yes. yeah.
How nice. I bet being at Edinburgh University, come festival time, it must just be tremendously exciting.
Yeah, it is, yeah. There's always lots going on, but...
Does Edinburgh still smell all kind of malty? Because there used to be the brewery up there, and it used to smell...
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I used to like that smell.
Certain places it does, yeah.
It's like God is holding a giant Weetabix
that
over the
smell.
city and crumbling it slowly, isn't it?
I love that.
Yeah, it's a lovely smell. Do you drink heavily?
I used to, but I'm a mature student.
Good. So you've got that out of your system, because that's the sort of thing that kids do. My daughter's come in to help us out on the show today. She drinks too much, as all people of her age do. You know, a couple of ciders and that's it. She's under the table. But we're trying to wean her off it. She's 9. Oh no, it's the other one. Sorry, I'm mixing up. Actually, my 9-year-old's 10 today. So happy birthday, honey! If you're Louise, you're a mature student? Are you with a partner? Do you have a family?
No, just myself.
Okay, and what have you gone back to study?
Sorry?
What are you studying?
I'm studying BA in Humanities and Social Sciences.
Okay, and you have a particular reason why you're studying that? You want to do something in that field?
Well, no, not now. I want to change it now. I'm in 3rd year, so I'm looking to change it.
Well, what do you want to change it to?
Scottish ethnology.
I see. So you will study the makeup of people in Scotland. Would that be correct? Okay. Is there much call for that kind of study?
Well, I don't know, but it's just something that really kind of interests.
Sounds to me you might be blazing a trail there. We could put David under the microscope. He is from Scottish origins. He's from the great Scotland.
I am.
Okay, David, do you own a kilt?
I do own a kilt, yeah.
Oh, you can't beat a kilt, can you?
Yeah.
I've got several. Mine all of the designer variety.
I've got a very traditional.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Do you wear anything under the kilt when you're in the kilt?
Of course not.
There you go. That's something for you to study, Louise. Okay, Louise, I don't know if you're interested in show business at all, but we're going to get you to do we've got some Oscar-related questions, and then you will have to do a speech involving the words we give you. I hope you're all geared up and ready to go on that. Okay,
We'll give you a record in
sound
between,
confident.
sir.
I'm sure you'll find it very, very easy. Okay, who are we? Who's
Edwina is on the other
Louise,
line.
stick around. We're going to say hello to Edwina, and then we're back to do this with you in a minute. Edwina, are you there?
Hi.
Good morning, Edwina. How are you?
Good morning, I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Whereabouts are you calling from?
Driffield, East Yorkshire, near Bridlington.
You have a very lovely sing-song voice, Edwina. Okay. It sounds a bit like you're simple, but at the same time, it's sort of sexy. You know? Yeah, but no, you know what I'm saying, though. It's sort of a sexy. Sort of,
Sexy simple.
I bet you play up to it. I bet you add a little bit of the old hi.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just keep talking. What do you think of that voice, David? Like that voice?
It's got a certain quality.
Edwina, what do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a musician, but most of the time I do a lot of temping work, and I love my temping jobs. I do reception, and the last job I had was in a crouton factory.
In a crouton factory?
Yeah, on reception. And
They have whole factories for croutons?
Crouton. Friendly island in a bowl of soup or some such, as the Boost song goes. I haven't got it quite right. A crouton factory?
Yeah, in Hull, and it was all self-contained. It had a little factory at one end, a warehouse in the middle, and a corporate end.
Did you see that, or did you just see the boss who hired you and said, yeah, we're making it. Croutons. There's your desk, and don't mind that camera.
Well, no,
We're just going to put the temperature up.
Before I realised what they did, actually.
Wow, what a weird... one would not have thought there was such a need for croutons at a whole factory.
A whole factory?
The whole factory, really small, but so nice. It was the best job ever.
Did you get kind of free croutons, or
I
you
did.
get?
I had to tour of the factory, and then they gave me a big, massive bin liner full.
A bin liner?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you can't be that, can you? Be hungry, reach into a bin liner for your croutons, eh? Oh, I'm starving. Where's that bin liner? Oh, I got the wrong one. I got the actual rubbish. Never mind. Can I be honest with you, Edwina?
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of the crouton.
Well, no, I'm not really. It's not something I would normally buy, but I gave them to my mum and my aunties, and they loved them. They've still got them in their drawers.
Did you decant them from the bin bag? So they've got drawers full of croutons. That's a weird scenario. When you're in someone's house and you reach in a drawer and it's full of croutons, you'd think they were mad.
The amount of soup you'd need to merit a bin bag full of croutons.
That's a big soup, isn't it?
It's gallons and gallons
But
of
there are
soup.
people who help the homeless saying, oh, we love some of those croutons. Send us a bin bag over. I've got 4,000 tramps to... Sorry, homeless people to feed. You don't say tramps anymore, do you, David?
Do you know?
No, apparently not.
Okay.
Oh, where's the romance gone? So, Edwina, so you're a musician. Which instrument do you play?
I'm a folk singer. I play the guitar, write folk songs.
Oh, you write your own songs, yeah? And where do you normally perform them?
Oh, just all over, anywhere and everywhere, really.
There's a growing new folk scene in the UK, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. It's lovely. It's really lovely. But yeah, as I say, I do a lot of temping, and in fact, years and years ago, I called up and did your quiz, and I thought I'd ring up again. It was about 4 years ago.
Did you do well at the quiz?
No, I lost miserably. At that time I was doing reception in a yoga centre, and no, I lost. And I used to try and call every week. I used to love listening to the show. And,
So it's a bit of a stretch for you.
Oh, dear.
What? I'm just making... What's wrong
We've
with
got to go to the news soon.
All right, we're going to go to the news. Oh, you know, I could do a bit of yoga. Do you ever do the Pilates?
No, I never tried it. I just did reception. So
You didn't do any yoga? You could have had free yoga. Oh, yeah, but you took a bin bag of croutons on, didn't you? You lazy cow. All right. Louise, stick around, Edinburgh. Edwina, stick around. We're going to come back and do the quiz after we have the news, then we have a record, and then we'll be back with you for the competition. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC. Flaming Lips, a tremendous band, the Flaming Lips. Are you familiar with that?
I love that. I love that track.
You've got to love the Flaming Lips. OK, don't put your daughter on the stage, Mr. Worthington. We have Louise in Edinburgh. We have Edwina. Where was Edwina again?
East Yorkshire, she was.
East Yorkshire. Edwina, are you there still?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, Edwina. Louise, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, yeah.
OK, Andy will now explain to you exactly what we're doing because we haven't done this out.
Okay, this is we did it for the BAFTAs. We're now doing it for the Oscars for tomorrow night. Each caller has to make a 1-minute winner's acceptance speech using a number of keywords provided by us. In order to make the task easier, each caller answers 5 questions based on this year's Oscar nominees, which are worth 5 seconds for every correct answer. If you get all 5 right, you get a bonus 5 seconds, which basically means you can knock your speech down to 30 seconds. Are you with me, David, as well?
I'm clinging on by my fingertips.
And then we give them the 5 keywords, and they have a record to think about their speech, and then they come back and they have to make the speech, but they only allowed to use the keyword once.
I'm just glad I'm just judging it.
OK, even a Time Lord is confused.
It's easy enough.
Even with the sonic screwdriver, he can't
5 questions,
decipher what you're talking about.
5 questions,
Okay.
5 seconds for every correct answer.
Louise, we'll come to you first. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's your first question. You ready? Have you got any music in the background? You want
No, this is just these are the questions first.
Hooray for Hollywood, nothing like that? OK. Here we go. Your first question, Louise. Eddie Murphy is nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Dreamgirls. What is the title of the 1982 movie in which he starred as a cheeky ex-con with Nick Nolte?
48 hours.
Correct!
She got 5 seconds off, so she's down to 55 seconds for a speech.
Judi Dench is
Look at
nominated.
you, David.
Judi Dench is nominated in the Best Actress category for Notes on a Scandal. What role does she play in the Bond movie Casino Royale? M is the correct answer.
10 seconds off her speech.
Paul
Oh, I
Greengrass.
see, they're competing to get a shorter speech.
Yes, because it's
rather than
harder
a longer
to do a
speech.
You see,
Yes.
that's why Dave was
I
confused, because
see.
actors want to extend it.
Right, too, yeah.
He'd be deliberately getting them wrong. Paul Greengrass is nominated as Best Director for United 93. Which Bourne movie starring Matt Damon did he direct? Did he direct the first one, Bourne Identity, the second one, Bourne Supremacy, or the third one, yet to be finished, Bourne Free?
Supremacy.
It was Supremacy.
3 out of 3. 15 seconds off.
The movie The Departed is nominated in the Best Picture category. The movie is adapted from the screenplay of a Hong Kong movie called Mugandu. Is that true or false? Mugandu. But, you know, that's a difficult question.
That is a difficult
Because even when it was released over here, it was released with the English
Do you want to give the English title? The English title is Infernal Affairs.
Infernal Affairs. Is that true or false? We've just said it's true. No, it's true. How did you get that wrong? I just said, give her the title. You ready? The title was Infernal Affairs. True or false? False. What possible logic led you to that answer? All right, that's
having
no
that?
good. All right.
She's not having that.
No, of course she's not having it. She got it wrong.
Okay.
Well, now you're doing it. It's just the wrong answer. They didn't get it.
It was an amalgam of true and false.
Okay.
It was not an amalgam of true and false. Right. Happy Feet is nominated for Best Animated Feature Film. Which animals are animated in the movie as having happy feet?
Penguins.
It is penguins.
Okay,
Lovely
so
little penguins.
You've got 20 seconds off your speech.
We'll come back to you in a minute for that.
So you've got
Okay.
to do a 40-second speech.
Edwina, are you ready?
I am.
Here we go. Here are your 5 questions, eh? First one up now. Clint Eastwood is nominated for Best Director for Letters from Iwo Jima. For which movie in which he also starred with Gene Hackman did he win a 1992 Oscar for Best Director?
Oh, I don't know.
He's never been forgiven for it.
Unforgiven.
Oh, well done. Well, 5 seconds off. Meryl Streep is nominated for Best Actress for The Devil Wears Prada. She has only won Best Actress once before, despite several nominations. But for which film did she win? Was it The French Lieutenant's Women? Was it Postcards from the Edge? Or was it Sophie's Choice?
Okay, I was going to say Kramer versus Kramer, so I'll go Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's Choice is correct.
That's good.
Will Smith is nominated for Best Actor for the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. In which movie did he star and also have a '1 single for?
Men in Black.
Men in Black.
3.
Wiki Wacky Men in Black, wasn't it? Something like that.
Oh, no, that was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all a bit witchy-witchy-wah. What are you thinking of? Witchy-witchy-wah-wah-wah.
Wild Wild West.
Witchy-witchy-wah-wah West, that was it?
Yeah.
Together, we've made it work. Forrest Whitaker is nominated in the Best Actor category for The Last King of Scotland. Which political dictator does he portray?
Oh, God, no idea.
No idea?
Scotland. Scotland. I don't know.
Idi Amin.
Okay.
Idi Amin. Okay, so you didn't get that one right. Helen Mirren won a BAFTA for... Helen Mirren won a BAFTA for her portrayal of the Queen and is also nominated for an Oscar. In which 1980 movie did she play alongside Bob Hoskins as gangster's wife Victoria?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to guess. I don't... gangster... Oh, I can't remember. Sorry.
Nice noises you're making. Just feeling burbling sounds coming out.
I can't remember.
It was The Long Good Friday.
Okay,
so
you
got three right.
So she has a 45-second speech. Now, because Louise got more right, she can choose from a list of words A or B. Sorry, I'm getting confused now.
You're making it even more confusing.
No, she has keywords A or keywords B. Just gives her a choice.
Louise, do you want A or B?
B.
Okay, I'm going to give you your keywords now, then we're going to play a record and we come back, you'll do this, okay?
And you're only allowed to mention them once in your speech.
Okay, here we go. And how long is Louise's speech?
She's got to do it in 40 seconds.
Okay, 40 seconds, and you have to include the following words. Have you got a pen handy?
Yes, I do.
Right, Patrick Moore, who we were talking about just before during the record, Patrick Moore. Congestion charging.
Yep.
Wet wipes. They're very handy. Keep them in the car if you've got kids. Or incontinent adults. Cleethorpes.
Sorry?
Cleethorpes. Ibagum. It's from that part of the world, isn't it?
It is.
Fishing tackle. Okay, that's
And
your
you'll
words.
have 40 seconds
You'll
to
have
make
40
your
seconds. You start thinking about that. Edwina, I'll give you your words now, if I can find them. Where are they gone?
They're on the other front page there. I've got them here. Have you got them there? Bottom of that second page.
Here we go. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Your keywords, Edwina, are John Noakes,
Oh, I remember him. Okay.
karaoke,
Oh, fantastic.
karaoke, a Reliant Robin,
Oh, hilarious.
York Minster,
Oh, not far.
and an aubergine.
Oh, okay.
What they call in America? They call them something different in America, aubergines, don't they?
Do they?
Eggplant.
Eggplant.
They call them eggplants. That's a weird thing, isn't it? All right, here you go. You're both going to have time. You've got 40 seconds. You've got 45 seconds. We're going to play a record now. When we come back, we'll hear those lovely speeches. Okay, there, I like that. Who was that?
Derek and Patsy.
Of course it was. Derek and Patsy. I wonder where Derek and Patsy are now. I hope they're still with us. Okay. Louise, you have... was it 40 seconds for Louise?
40 seconds,
and
yeah.
45 seconds for Edwina. Should we go with Louise first?
Yeah,
I think we
Louise's
should.
words were Patrick Moore, congestion charging, wet wipes, Cleethorpes and fishing tackle.
You can only use them once, and we want the script to make the speech to make some sort of sense, and David Tennant will be your judge today. Okay, so are you ready to go, Louise?
Bit of applause
I think
first
so.
as she comes to the stage. Okay, there she is.
Congratulations. Here's your award. Take it away.
Thank you. Listen, getting a part in this film, Congestion Charges, meant so much to me, and working beside that great paragon of the screen, Sir Patrick Moore, has been an experience like no other. I'll never forget those early mornings filming in Cleethorpes. Sometimes he'd even get his fishing tackle out, and, well, let's just say I'd have to have my wet ones handy. Thank you so much.
That's excellent, isn't it?
It was good, yeah. I don't know if she ran 40 seconds, though. I felt she was a bit short.
Yeah,
Oh,
but... Yeah,
sorry.
well, did you
Quite a lot of
time it?
applause.
I did time it, yes.
Yeah, but we'll let the applause for that. That was a great speech. You know what? I want to see that film now. Okay, well done. Well, Edwina, Louise has set the bar quite high.
Yes, my goodness.
I hope you have 45 seconds to fill, but as you've just noticed, we're fairly lax about the actual timekeeping here.
Good.
Do we want the words again?
The words that you have to put in, of course, are John Noakes, karaoke, a Reliant Robin, York Minster, and an aubergine. If you're ready, I have your award. Please come up to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Edwina. Take it away.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Little did I know years ago, when John Noakes visited our chip shop in Bridlington, that he'd return years later to make his award-winning documentary Aubergine about the history of York Minster and choose one of my songs to be the song in this brilliant movie. After years of going around in my Reliant Robin doing karaoke gigs all over the country, it's such a thrill to be standing here on stage to receive this award for Best Song in a Movie. Thank you very, very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Only 27 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
really?
Didn't eke it out.
yeah, but you know, can I be honest with you? If that was actually the Oscars, they'd be thrilled that you because they're always going over. I've been there for the BBC a few times, and you're about the 17th hour in, you're thinking, oh, please don't thank your dad. You know.
You know what, can I tell you something?
Yes, you may, Edwina.
You know what, I always thought if I ever did go to the Oscars to win Best Song, I mean, it's a dream, you know.
Of course, we all have
You
dreams.
know what I would say,
What would you-
you know what? If anybody here knows Bob Dylan, I'd love to meet him. That's what I would say.
Just as well, you're probably never going to win because Bob's restraining order would have to be extended. He looks like a Chinaman now. Have you seen him recently? He's become Chinese. He's got older.
So David needs to judge that.
Right,
If you can, David. What do you think?
I know it's hard. It's tough.
It's very tough. It's very tough. I think just for the lingering image of Patrick Moore and the Wet Wipes, I think probably Louise just nicked it.
So that touched me as well.
Yeah.
You know, but yours was great as well, Edwina. What we'll do is we'll split the prices up a little bit. You will get the lion's share, Louise. Edwina, you will get the lioness's share, if that makes any sense at all. Thank you. It's lovely talking to both of you. Good luck with your studies, Louise.
Thank you so much.
Edwina, good luck with the songs. I hope one day you do get an Oscar for it. But of course, in many ways, that's not really why you're doing it, is it? Of course,
not at all.
You're touching people with your heart, your soul, and your guitar strings. And if you've got any spare croutons, I bet you have. Lovely talking to you both. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Take care. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That sounded great.
It was a badly drawn boy.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that if I'd have known. We have Damon Gough with us. He is known wide and far as the badly drawn boy himself. Is that ever become a kind of nuisance? Are you now regretting ever starting out as the badly drawn boy?
In one word, yeah. I can't stand it anymore.
Well, why don't we just call you Damon now then?
I think I'm going to metamorphosise, much like the Doctor has to every now and again. I'm going to become just Damon again, I think.
Neatly done, neatly done. Damon Gough is here with us. Let's get that in our head now. It's Damon Gough, or just Damon?
Damon, I believe the other day you referred to me as Darren Gough.
Yeah, which
I'm
is not a
sure.
bad sound, is it? Darren or Damon. He'll answer to anything, ladies and gentlemen. He's not badly drawn boy.
We're not related, me and Darren, although it'd be an easy mistake to make.
Hey, Damon, if you want to get really hit with it, okay, here's a thought for you. Feel free to disregard this. How about we spell your name D, and then the A sign like at on the internet, and then Mon.
That's brilliant.
Like
I've got,
no,
forget that. I've got a better one for you.
What's one?
If you write out the name Badly Drawn Boy, and if you use one of the Y's in Badly Drawn Boy as the word Y, it is an anagram. It spells Why Draw Bob Dylan.
Anyway, okay, so it's lovely to have you. You've been spending a lot of time on your own recently, haven't you?
It wasn't me, my brother worked that out.
Sitting in a travel lodge on tour, going, how can we fill the time? What do you mean the TV's down? We've just got a pad and a pencil and my name. Hey, great to see you again. I love the sound of this tour you're doing. Will you explain to us where you're going to be appearing and how it's come about?
It's over.
What? I thought you were still doing the fish and chip tour.
No, the last one was in Grimsby on Wednesday. And,
what a fitting place to end a fish and chip tour.
Yeah.
It's over now.
Yeah, we did 3. There was a shortlist of 10 on my website, and people had to vote. The winning chippy was in Bristol, a place called Magnet Chip Shop, and then there was one in Muswell Hill called Toffs.
I know that one. Yeah. That's near me.
Toffs is where it's like 20 quid for fish and
David
chips.
to life, isn't it? Yeah. It's a really nice
You
chip.
see, he's lost his roots, and he only goes to a fish and chip shop called Tops now. Yeah, I'll have the salmon in batter with the tempura chips, please. I went to a great fish and chip shop in Blackpool once.
What was it like?
Rubbery. That wasn't heading that direction. So this is over. Are you going to be touring again now? Are you doing more gigs in regular venues?
Yeah, it's like Grimsby was the last one. Bristol and Muswell Hill. That's all. There was 7 left because there was a shortlist of 10. So I might end up trying to do the whole 10 if I can, sometime later in the year. But we're on a regular tour pretty much constantly. We just finished the UK leg of the tour in Stockport last night, which is near Manchester, which is my dad's birthplace. Played in the Plaza, which I've got a photograph here. I need to show it you. I mean, this is going to work really well on radio.
Yeah. We can describe it. We can use our incredible descriptive
There's a
powers.
poster outside the Plaza. If you pass that to Jonathan, David.
Is your dad still with us, by the way? Can I inquire?
Yes, yeah, my
that's
dad,
nice. So he
Richard,
was
yeah.
at the gig, was he?
It's got that was a poster outside.
Wow, that's a great poster. Look at that. Who's who on there? Okay, is that you down the front there?
Yeah.
With the sunglasses. And then Basil Brush is above you. Joe Brown, without the brothers, is there. Ken Dodd, the legendary Ken Dodd. A large-chested lady. I don't know who that is at the back there. Right?
Lisa Riley's the last.
Lisa Riley, there you go. Jim Davidson. All right. Cliff Richard.
Who's that in the yellow jumpsuit?
I don't know, but there's an ABBA lookalike band down there as well. It's not ABBA, it's like Bjorn Again or something, isn't it?
It was what were they called? They had a really terrible name.
Oh, that's Jimmy Carr. Is that Jimmy Carr at the back?
Or Lloyd Cole, one of the two. Yeah.
Someone with a fat face looking a bit surprised. And who's that down the front? Who's the lady down there?
That's Barbara Dixon, I think.
Barbara Dixon, another suitcase Another Hall. If there was ever a better ballad written, I tell you what, I can't think of it. That's a great photograph.
Well, but that's when, and not only that, when I arrived at the venue the night before, the Vagina Monologues had been on, so that was still above my name, the Vagina Monologues, Bradley Drawn Boy. So
yeah, well, you've had experiences in that realm, haven't you?
all in all, it was one of the highlights of my career, and it was an amazing gig as well. Not just because we played well, but a great crowd, and the staff were brilliant because they're all volunteers. And my dad used to go to this place, the Plaza, as a kid to watch Saturday morning cinema, you know, like where they left you on a cliffhanger every week.
Yeah.
And my dad was telling me, so I think it was Dick Barton or something that used to be one of these characters, and he was one episode where it was left where he had water up to his neck in this room. And you're left like, oh no, he's going to die. And you get back the next week and the water's back down really low. And then he dives down and there's a plug at the bottom of the room. And he seriously saw that.
But you know what? He had to get out somehow. What? He would have been happy if he drowned, would he? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I felt cheated. He got away. All right. Darren is going to perform live for us here this morning.
Did you say that on purpose then?
Yeah. What do you mean? Damon is going to perform live for us this morning.
You think you'd avoid ours with your...
No. Oh, I see. It's like that, is it? Okay, I'm being very... Well, I'm afraid we don't have time for the badly drawn boy to perform. All right, Damon's going to perform live for us in a minute. We'll put a record on now, give you a chance to synchronise your instruments and so on and so forth.
Can I just be schmaltzy and say that I think David's Doctor Who is brilliant as well?
Cheers.
No, I think he's brought a new element back, like the cheeky side of the Doctor, or the weird side.
Christopher was great, but he was a bit dark.
Not putting down Christopher Eccleston, but I think David's kind of brought it back again in a very good way.
He's the Doctor for a whole new generation.
Well, just been complimented by Badly Drawn Boy. My kill has gone through the roof.
Damon will be playing for you live after this. Damon Gough is with us. David Tennant is still here as well. He's a fan of Damon, formerly known as the Badly Drawn Boy, so he's stuck around for this.
Absolutely.
You ever seen Damon perform live?
I never have, no. Until now. How exciting is this?
We're so lucky to be here. We have, live music every week. Damon, would you introduce, please, to us the two young men, well, youngish men, the two quite strange-looking young men that you brought in with you?
I've got Spike Milligan on the drums.
He does. He do look a bit like young Spike.
Be your best Spike.
Get ready, radio listeners.
Half past needle
and Elvis Costello on guitar.
Yeah, a bit better looking than Elvis, actually. Are you of Latin persuasion, sir?
Half Samoan, half Scottish.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great combo, isn't it?
Yeah,
I bet you're handy in a fight.
Real name.
I'm good at running.
Real name Cameron Miller and Alex Thomas.
Cameron and Alex will be performing. Cameron's on guitar as well as you. So is it rhythm and lead or rhythm and lead that way round?
I'm more rhythm and Cameron's more lead, yeah.
And the other gentleman, sorry, I forgot your name already.
Alex.
What are you doing? Your percussion?
I'm usually the drummer, but I'm playing a box.
He's hitting a box.
But that's going to sound good enough. Isn't it marvellous? It's as if the world has ended and the only people left to us in a small cave and there's no TV. We've run out of, fun games like how many anagrams can we make from the word badly drawn boy? And now we're making music using boxes and strings. Okay, what track can you do for us, Damon?
It's a song called A Journey from A to B, which I think's out next week. It was stalled by a week for some reason.
Okay, but it's out now. It's going to be out as a CD single, I guess, and as a download single, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's artwork that you can, if you downloaded it, there's artwork that you can buy, which is really nice. It's like an A to Z of my history in Manchester.
Oh, that's a nice thing.
It's very nice.
Can I suggest you put that poster on there as well? That photograph yourself on the poster as an extra bonus. They'll go straight to number one if they don't get that photograph. All right, here you go. This is Journey from A to B, Damon Gough.
Thanks a lot. 2, 3, 4.
That's a lovely sound, isn't it?
That was brilliant.
Damon, it sounded great. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Damon. That was marvellous. And that's Journey from A to B. It'll be a single in a week or so. That's from Damon's current studio album, just out now, Born in the UK, which I believe was recorded in the former Toffee Factory.
That's correct, yeah, in Stockport.
More than that, you need not know. Damon, thank you so much. Good luck with you. You're doing a mini tour of the US soon, aren't you?
Well, the whole of March we're touring the USA, yeah.
Okay, well, good luck with that, and come back in when you're back in the UK. Come back, and then for henceforth, it's only Damon. We're going to call him Damon on the show from now. That's it. You've graduated. It's almost like going out of short trousers into long trousers at school, isn't it? From now on, Damon only. Great to see you again. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us, Jonathan.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate it.
That's the Monkeys, of course. Damon Gough has gone. Wasn't that a beautiful sound? A brilliant performer, badly drawn boy, but his real name's Damon Gough. David Tennant is still here with us. Unfortunately, we can't get rid of him. We keep he's sticking around. But we have with us Sean Locke, one of the best comedians in the country. He's also a very talented TV host. But he's here more today because finally out on DVD, I'm pleased to say, is the box set of 15 Stories High, which was a fabulous... It started life as a radio comedy,
That's right,
didn't it?
yes, yeah.
Then moved to TV. I thought it was underrated, it was neglected. It was... What channel was it on? Was it on...
It was on BBC Three, and then it did get some airings on BBC Two, but they shunted it around at strange times. And there was one time it was supposed to go at 10:45 on a Sunday night on BBC Two, but they put it back because they had the local council election results coming in. And you know how the whole family gathers around to listen to see the Oxon-Banbury by-election
You start moving the Queen's speech. You can't move those kind of things. They're a staple.
And then another week, there was the Vainu, the Israeli nuclear dissident. He was in prison for 25 years or something, and they released him on a Sunday, and they had a live interview with him. And I was thinking, he spent 20 years in jail, but come on, you could have let him out on the Monday.
I like the fact you said, Vainu, we've all forgotten him. It's living on in your heart because it was
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Just livid.
It was, and I mean this in the best possible way, it was quite a peculiar show. It was sort of a sitcom, but not in the traditional sense or in the normal way, because there wasn't the kind of roster of friendly characters that you saw each week.
It was almost about how that in London, in a city, you can spend a lot of time just encountering strangers. And in fact, if you don't really make an effort to see people you know, you can go 2 or 3 weeks. If you don't make a real effort. So it was more about someone who's kind of marooned in a city.
Disconnected.
Yes, yeah.
Disconnected.
But there was two of them together.
But your character was kind of deliberately disconnected, I felt.
Yeah,
I think he wasn't someone who wanted friends, really, was
yeah,
he?
he sort of cut himself off. He had a few bad experiences, But he's sort of supported by his flatmate Errol, played by Benny Wong.
Right, so, hold it, that's my phone.
I'm glad, because I thought it might be mine, and I hadn't turned mine off. I haven't got mine with me.
I'm just going to turn mine off. I'm sorry, I had it on earlier.
Is that Sophia Loren?
I wish. Her or Ursula Andress, they're on top of the list.
But it turns out she just didn't mean to phone, she just sat on it.
Even that thought was enough to get me halfway there.
That's probably better than her phoning you, isn't it?
Oh, God. Helen Mirren. Sean Locke, you can get the BBC DVD box set. Of course, he's also known recently, we're doing the TV show called TV Heaven, TV Hell, okay, which was very funny. Had some great guests on. It was a very funny show. An unusual premise, an interesting premise. It was essentially, you had guests come on and they had to talk about their favourite and their kind of like most unusual TV viewing experience.
The one they hated and the one they liked.
What were the most surprising results?
Well, we just recorded the second series.
Congratulations.
Jack did it. Jack came in and did it.
This is Jack D, of course.
Yeah, Jack D. He hates what's it called? It's a Knockout.
He hates It's a Knockout.
Yeah,
what?
but all of his choices, we managed to convince him, and it turns out he really liked them again. Or stuff that he hated.
The thing about Jack is he's quite weak-willed and easily led.
Yeah.
You know. I'm sure that's why he got married. I don't think he fell in love. I think she just bullied him.
Yeah.
David Tennant's here with us. Has Doctor Who featured in any of anyone's lists yet?
Well, no, it hasn't.
Thank goodness for that.
It has. We did. Some people sort of chose it, but then they changed their minds.
As their favourites or as their least favourite?
Well, as their favourites. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
There were periods, though, of course, when it wasn't so hot. I mean, I'm not talking about now, but in the 70s there were a few periods where it was a curious.
I try not to influence decisions in any way.
You're impartial.
Yeah, I'm impartial. Yeah.
You're like the head of the UN.
Yeah, I mean, Omid Jalili, the comedian?
Of course.
Iranian guy, he chose the Tomorrow People, which was Doctor Who's sort of, the ITV's answer to the Doctor Who. Really pathetic
I like the Tomorrow People. They used to put their hand on something, didn't they?
Yeah.
And wasn't there a mother involved or something? Wasn't it Mother?
No. You're thinking of...
I'm thinking of My Life.
Yeah,
just coming home from school. Mother, where are the donuts?
The Tomorrow People were like sort of overbred kids, sort of genetically advanced kids who could do telekinesis and
overbred?
Not overbred, that's the upper classes, isn't it? That's the wrong family.
Who were like toffs.
The next stage of evolution or something.
Yes, they could move things without a butler and stuff like that.
They were born with
it was very
telekinesis.
badly made. It's the most shockingly... It was like a sort of school play directed by a metalwork teacher.
I'm not having this. I'm not having this.
It's terrible.
Blake 7 I'd give you, but
all
not
those
the Tomorrow
things
People.
you look back on with sort of fondness. You actually watch them again now, you just think, Jesus, what's appalling.
Have you seen any of my early shows? The Double Deckers, have they featured on anyone's list?
Oh, I love the Double Deckers.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
They were a good band. They were going, not a band, it was a record that they had as well. But the guy from the Double Deckers went on to join Aswad.
Yes.
That's right, yeah.
Brinsley Schwartz.
Brinsley Schwartz.
Yes.
That's a form of spices, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they made spices.
Yeah, Brinsley Ford.
Oh, Brinsley Ford.
Brinsley Schwartz. That's some kind of Freudian slip there, Andy. We won't dwell on it.
This is what happens when men get together in pubs these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ill-informed conversations and just sort of jostling for superiority with trivia. Are you going to do any more 15 Stories High? I think the answer is probably no.
They didn't want any more.
That's a shame, though.
Yes, it is a shame. Yes, yeah, I'm over it now. Though I've moved on into the world of light ent more.
Yeah.
I will go back to doing some more narrative pieces. I'm working on a film script at the moment, but I've done that before.
Yes, never. We've all done that.
So who knows?
I thought you were very good. Your performance in it was very good as well, which I hadn't expected. I mean, because I know you as a stand-up comedian, but I didn't think you could do the acting. But you do the acting very well in it.
Thanks. Well, I can't roughly do myself, but at different volumes.
Even so, that's hard to do. That's often harder to do, I think, than playing a totally different character.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a chameleon.
If you were playing a serious role, would you consider growing a beard?
I can't grow a beard. I'd be stuffed because I just have that patchy.
Because your skin looks quite distressingly smooth. If you don't mind me
Really? Well, that's because I had skin cancer. When I was about 28, I had skin cancer. Seriously, I had skin cancer, so I was very lucky.
Thanks for slipping that in now.
I was very lucky.
That's how to make your host feel comfortable.
I was very lucky. They caught it early because a mate of mine spotted it in the showers. This is true.
Serious?
This is true. We used to go to the gym. I used to go to this gym, and he said, "There's something weird on your back." And I went to the doctors, and they sent me straight to hospital. They cut it out, and they got it. It was a malignant melanoma, but they got it just in time.
Wow.
And they said, you know, they had to have checkups for years. Yeah. Another 6 months, it would have been fatal. But they said at the time, you must always wear sun cream on your face, even in the winter. So since I've been about 25, 26, I've bathed myself in acid.
And it's had the effect. It's like Imac on your face for years.
Yeah.
So you actually don't grow facial hair anymore.
Well, I do, but I grow sort of a patchy.
Oh wow!
A patchy. You know, like the. You know, like when they put a beard on a Thunderbird? Like that.
Little blobs with a bit of glue.
Yes, yeah.
I just want you to know, Sean, it doesn't make you any less of a man in our eyes.
No. Well, I've got the perfect... You know, there's a lot of stuff about male grooming now, and you might be a bit effete. I've got the perfect excuse, because I had to do it to stop the sun killing me.
Can I just say, it was a bit of a conversation stopper there when I introduced a light tone. You went, yes, because I had skin cancer. And we all went,
yeah. Did you ever read my book about my fight back?
No, of course I didn't.
Yeah.
Did you have a book out?
No, but I just thought, normally you do when you get back, when you turn your career around.
You have to be more famous before you do that.
Everyone brings a book out.
It's the guy who was in the Big Brother house. Who was that guy who was the face in the A-Team?
Doc Benedict.
Yeah, he had a book about his successful struggle against cancer.
Really?
So you're in very good company.
Mine would have been quite short. Went to the hospital. Everything turned out all right.
It was all fine. Thank God for that.
Pamphlet.
It's one of the stories we'd rather hear more of, to be honest with you.
I suppose I should keep that one to myself more often.
Okay, let's all recover. Let's put some music on. We'll chat some more to Sean Locke, and we still have David Tennant here after this. Who was that?
Willie Mason.
Okay, I'm going to warn you now. We're going to end the show on a bit of teenage music. My daughter Betty, who's coming today, she's given me her iPod with a band called Brand New on it.
Yeah.
She normally plays music in the car about people trying to commit suicide and meeting other people, and they'll talk each other out of it and then go off and put mascara on. But anyway, this is so end on Brand New. Are you familiar with the band Brand New, Sean Locke?
No, I'm a little bit out of touch.
Oh, no.
I'm just aware of the work of the Kaiser Chiefs. They've just come into my radar.
Just tell them. But you're someone who I think has always looked a little bit older than he was. Would I be right? Would that be a fair thing to say?
A moment ago, you're saying I'd like the alabaster skin of a young Romeo.
I didn't use those exact words. I said you look like you couldn't grow a beard. Is what I actually said.
Right. Yeah. I suppose I've always looked. I had never had trouble getting served in pubs. I was about 14 or 15.
Well, you've got a face from the 50s.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's like you've got a sort of face. You only see in old photographs now. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
I look good in a double-breasted suit.
Oh, you look great in it with a hat on, selling watches.
Whereas in glam rock, I'd look probably a bit out of place in a sort of zip-up leather gold lame outfit.
You'd have been the drummer looking unhappy in the leopard skin at the back, a bit surly. Sean Locke has a new DVD out. Well, I say new DVD as if he's a lot of other ones. He hasn't really. It's a box DVD set of Series 1 and 2 of 15 Stories High, which was one of the most original and, I think, successful comedies this country's produced, and one of the most sadly overlooked and underrated. Genuinely, I think that. And it's a shame that it wasn't. I hope it does well, and I hope they repeat it as well, because it being on BBC 3 back when people weren't really tuning into BBC 3 was a major problem. And it was a radio show initially, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started out on Radio 4, which is the brilliant thing about this country, is you've got Radio 4, if you've got an idea, you can try it out, and you can make it without that terrible panic and fear of like,
Of
if
a
I get
huge
it wrong,
budget and everyone
my
looking,
whole career's over. And it's a brilliant place to learn how to make something work. And actually, the programme we've got today wouldn't be there if it wasn't for...
But it was quite a different programme by the time it hit the screen, of course, wasn't
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You have to take a risk. You know, at the time, basically nobody really felt like they wanted to make those kind of traditional lit sitcoms, you know, those sort of audience box rooms. So you want to make something distinctive. Perhaps we made something a bit too distinctive for the time. But
I think when you tuned in, the first time I tuned in, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, the problem with it is part of the joke for me was it's set in a tower block, and we deliberately kind of made this grim sort of like a sort of Scandinavian, very slow, dry look.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought part of the joke was that you'd assume it would be about domestic violence or drug dealing or gangs or whatever. And it's actually the comedy's quite light.
Quite sweet, yes.
Quite sweet and light in it. And that was part of the joke for me. But I think a lot of people turned it on and went, oh, this is obviously about gangs or domestic violence.
This is what you should put on the box set next time, is if Ingmar Bergman had directed Friends, this would be the result.
Yes,
there you go.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
We've just about run out of time. I'm sorry we didn't have as long to talk to you as
That's
I
all right.
would have hoped.
I appreciate the...
It's largely because the so-called Time Lord didn't get in his taxi when it was around there, so that slowed us all down.
There's been one or two.
David, thanks for coming in. Thanks for spending the whole show with us. It was a pleasure.
It's been a great privilege.
Sean, congratulations on the series. I know you're not making any more, but it was a great achievement. 15 Stories High is out on DVD. I'm not saying that just because I know Sean, because I don't know him terribly well, do I? And in fact, there's always a slight kind of, let's face it, a slight atmosphere when we're in the room together.
Well, I just wondered what you were going to say about my face. Yeah. It's usually my glasses. Last time you were designing glasses
Well, you
for
zinged me right back this time with the old skin cancer routine. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Damon Gough as well. I hope you can again next week. We're going to leave on a little bit of not badly drawn boy. This is brand new, courtesy of my daughter. I hope you enjoy it. This is The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot. God help us all.
Blocked his own?
Shot. It's a teenager's thing. It's brand new. They're pretty good, actually. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll play some more of that next week. Thank you for joining us. Hope you can again here next week when we're back on 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC.